You've heard of the acronym KISS, KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. Albert Einstein said, if you can't explain it simply, you don't understand it well enough. So why is it that smart people are prone to making things more complicated than they need to be? I have some thoughts on the subject and approaches to help you avoid the pitfalls of overthinking and related behaviors such as over-preparing and perfectionism.
Hi, I'm Jenny Clark, a conscious leadership expert who spent 2 decades in executive recruiting and talent management. Having worked with giants like Google, Spencer Stuart, I discovered that the secret to transformative leadership lies in the 5 dimensions of conscious leadership. And I'm here to help you unlock your full potential. Join me on this channel as we embark on an honest and vulnerable journey together to become the kind of leader that genuinely inspires organizational transformation.
I have a few ways you can get involved in this conscious community. First, I've created a free career map to help you uncover your next career move. Second, I've created exclusive content for you with a community of like-minded leaders. And lastly, I send out a free newsletter every week. To learn more, check out the description in this video. People in leadership roles have usually been put into these roles because of their subject matter expertise and hopefully their leadership competencies. They're different. Maybe they have lots of years behind them with results to support their expert status, or they're the most forward-thinking wunderkind of the hour. They're typically smart, even highly intelligent, and pride themselves on relying on their intelligence or intellect to drive change. Let's just say these leaders can get in their own way by overcomplicating things, often unwittingly. It can diminish the speed and efficacy of the intended outcome, not to mention send the team members into an unnecessary frenzy. Here's a story for you. I got pulled into a project initiated by a new C-suite executive, Anita. I didn't report to her, but our scope had adjacencies. She seemed bright and came from another large company in the same sector our company was in. After having met with her and other members of her team a few times, it was clear that she wanted to make an impression among her peers and subordinates and have impact quickly, I think in that order. I was willing to do my part to try to support her in that. I found myself being added to a weekly update meeting that tracked progress across at least 40 variables and included 15 to 18 people. This tracker, this spreadsheet thing, was mind-numbing to read, and I struggled to even find the one line that seemed to relate to my area of expertise and responsibility. I sat in the first couple of meetings that lasted a full hour. I don't think they ever got to my section, for which I had actually nothing to report, by the way, because there was no change in the measurement of the item in question. Now, I'm getting frustrated. This was a waste of my time and swirl like I had never seen. It also felt like a bit of a power play because Anita, who only attended the first of these meetings, by the way, had only fairly senior executives, including me, who reported to other C-suite execs, her peers, attending this meeting when many of us had only ancillary contributions and better things to do. I reached out to the poor person who was charged with convening and leading these meetings, and I let her know that I didn't think I should be there, and I had other priorities and commitments to my chain of command. She towed the party line and she said, well, you know, you should try to attend these meetings. Now, by the third meeting, I knew enough not to show up on time and just jumped in before they actually got to my section expecting some update. Now, I'll admit, I was salty and I didn't hold back. I said, I'm not sure why and how my team's content is relevant given the slow frequency of change and the data that our group already supplies to the CEO's office. A couple of people seemed to gasp, but I was fed up. I wasn't going to be a party to unnecessary activity that seemed to serve the need for professional branding of one individual, more than it did solving a problem. The number of people, the time, and complexity of this effort did not correspond to the scope of the problem. I followed up with my manager, and I let him know he might get some feedback about the meeting. He assured me he had my back. I didn't really care. I had the benefit of being relatively senior and not in Anita's line of reporting, so there were no repercussions. I did have a couple of people who had been in the meeting say they had pulled out after I did because it wasn't a good use of their time either. So now, a couple lessons for you. Pull up. Instead of drilling down another level, pull up and take a macro look for a different perspective. Are you addressing the problem or creating new ones? If the ask is coming from someone else, is it really the right question being posed or the right problem being solved for? In my story, it quickly became clear that the intricate spreadsheet and frequent lengthy meetings had some elements of posturing by this new C-suite exec. Who would be ultimately looking at this work product, and would the results of this effort have relevance 6 or 12 months from now? Question the process. Before proceeding with the work, get input from other team members impacted most by creating the work product and possible solution. Does the complexity of the effort align with the size of the scope of the intended impact or outcome? In my case, the complexity of the work product and all of the people and resources it took seemed to obscure the output. Swirl. Shift your mindset. Is the mindset or orientation of the team to show how smart they are with lots of bells and whistles, or to distill the problem to its most fundamental elements and present the most efficient, effective, and elegant solution possible? You can be an influencer by choosing and honoring the latter mindset. Remember what Einstein said, if you can't explain it simply, you don't understand it well enough. Make room for the magic. Many smart people have perfectionist tendencies. I think I can say that about myself. You don't have to have every possible scenario analyzed or know how everything is going to happen. You can't. There is a point of diminishing returns. According to the philosophy of Taoism, Wu Wei is Chinese for non-doing or doing nothing. It doesn't mean not acting. It means effortless action or actionless action. The Wei never acts, yet nothing is left undone. Give things room to breathe. Here's something I want you to take away from this. Consider this car sort of driving analogy. Is it about mph, miles per hour, versus RPM, revolutions per minute? Are you having impact, making progress, covering distance as calculated by miles per hour? Or are you simply expending a lot of energy without covering much ground, as in RPM, revolutions per minute, and grinding your gears? My coach, Andy Elwood, yes, I have a coach. Every great leader needs one. Andy suggests that people overcomplicate often because they enjoy being in the process and are afraid to finish. It could be because it would mean they have to commit. Think about it. Some of us like the spin and the swirl, as I call it. By the way, you should check out Andy's YouTube channel, Andy_Elwood. Overcomplicating can really be a form of procrastination, a diversionary tactic, or a lack of confidence veiled in perfectionism. Don't let this happen to you. And remember, keep it simple, stupid. I know firsthand how taking that first step can be the catalyst for a life-changing transformation. I remember the moment I decided to harness my own strengths, and it made all the difference in my career. That's why I created a career mapping tool just for you, to help you uncover your unique competencies and leverage them to design your own career map. Take the first step towards your next level by clicking the link in the video description, and let's start this incredible journey together.